Good evening. I'd like to begin by apologizing that I haven't given any of my, like to call them mini shiurim for the last couple of weeks in the evening. Just we had to do a little bit of rearranging certain rooms in the house, and I had to wait until that was done in order to have a space in the evening again from which to speak to you. So, we are going to pick up tonight in Perek Chelek, again, the 11th Perek of Maseches Sanhedrin, down towards the bottom of Tzadi Amud Beis. Amar le Kaiser Rabban Gamliel. A Kaiser, a Caesar, it's unclear exactly who this is, said to Rabban Gamliel, Amrisu, you say, Deshikvi Chayi, that those who have died will come back to life. Hahavu Afra, but they've become dirt. Va'afra mikachai, does dirt come to life? Amrle Barte, so the Caesar's daughter, according to Rashi says it's the Caesar's daughter. Some want to suggest maybe it was Rabbi Gamliel's daughter who spoke up. Shavke, leave him alone. Vana mahadranale, and I will respond to him. Shnei yotzerim yesh bi'irenu. There are two artisans in our town. Echad yotzer min hamayim, one forms things from water. Ve'echad yotzer min hatit, and one forms from mud. Ezehen mishubach, which one deserves more praise? Amrlei, so the Kaiser answered, Zeh sheyotzer min hamayim, the one who is forming things from water, he's more praiseworthy. Amrlei, so she said to him, Min hamayim tsar. So if God is able to form from water, min hatit lo kolshkein, surely God can form from mud. Meaning if God is able to take sperm and form that into a child, then surely from mud, God is able to form a person. So all of the Mefarshim are kind of puzzled by exactly what was the question, if it's dirt, whether or not it can come back to life, and exactly what was her answer, how was she convincing when she said that if God could form from mayim, from water, then surely God can form from mud. And I was actually bothered by a question because the Kaiser had said, how can God form a person? Or I shouldn't say that. The Kaiser's question was, the person has become uffer, dirt. And does dirt come back to life? And her answer is from mud. Now, I understand you could say mud and dirt are more or less the same thing, perhaps. But to me, it's very interesting how his argument was dirt and her response is from mud. So I want to suggest that when you take a look about the pasuk, about life and death, famous pasuk, right? Ki afar ata vel afar tashuv, you are dirt, and you will return to dirt. That's the Torah's description of Hashem telling Adam about the death of man. And I think that was the question of the Kaiser. That from the pasuk itself, it would seem to indicate that Afar, turning to dirt, is the opposite of life. And life has come to a complete end. You've gone back to where you came from, and the life is gone. So we're getting this idea all of a sudden that life is going to return if a person after he's dead has gone back to a state of being completely devoid of life. And her response was from mud, from tit. Because mud, the truth of the matter is not just dirt. Mud is dirt mixed with water. And I want to suggest, as we discussed several times in the past, that once there is ruchnius, once there is spirituality and holiness within something, that never disappears completely. It always remains. And I believe that was her answer. Even when a person dies, what remains of his body is never uffer. It's never just the complete inanimate, empty of any life dirt, but there's always a certain element of the life that used to be there that remains. And therefore you're asking if it's just inanimate dirt, and that's the finality of death, why is it coming back? The answer is it never achieved that state of finality, because there was always some life that remained there. The Gemara goes on, Debei Rebbe Yishmael Tana. In the yeshiva of Rebbe Yishmael, they learned the following reasoning. Kal v'chomer mikli zechuchis. You can prove the concept of Tchias HaMesim, of the resurrection of the dead, from looking at glass vessels. Ma kli zechuchis, if a glass vessel, she'amlan beruach basar v'dam, and they're created with the wind of flesh and blood. Right back in the good old days, you'd have the glazier standing there blowing on and into the glass in order to form the glass vessel. So despite the fact that they're created by mere humans, nishbaru, if they break, yesh lahen takana, they can be fixed. Because the glass can be melted, and reformed. So basar v'dam, a human being, sheberucho shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who was formed by the Spirit of God, alachas kama v'kama, how much more so, he has the ability to be rectified. I'm sorry. My voice is having a little trouble tonight. Amar le'ahu mina l'Rebbe Ami. A non-believer said to Rebbe Ami, Amrisu, you say, the shichvi chayi, that those who die come back to life. And he asked the same question that the Kaiser asked earlier. Vahavu afra, but the person has turned into dirt. Va'afra mikachayi, and does dirt come to life? Amrulei, so Rabbi Ami answered him, Emsho l'cha mashal l'meh davar dome. Let me give you a metaphor. L'melech basar v'dam. There was a human king, she'amar la'avadav, who said to his servants, L'chu go, ubinu li palterin gedolim, build for me a great palace, b'makom she'ein mayim va'afar, in a place where you are lacking any of the basic ingredients for building. There's no water, there's no dirt, and it's impossible to create bricks. Holchu ubanu also, they went and somehow they managed to build it. But liyamim naflu. After some time, the building fell down. Amr lahem, then the king said to them, Chizru ubinu also, go back and build the palace b'mokum sheyesh afar mayim, in a place where you have the raw materials. Amrulo, they didn't want to build something again and have it fall down, so they said to the king, Ein anu yicholim, we are not capable. Ka'as aleim, the king got angry at them. V'amr lehem, and he said to them, b'mokom she'ein mayim afar, in a place where there was no water and dirt. Benisem, you built. Achshav, now sheyesh mayim va'afar, that there was water and dirt. Alachas kama v'chama. How much more so that you should be able to build. V'im if you don't believe me, say lebika, go out into the valley, ure'ei achbar, and take a look at this rodent, shahayom chetzi of basar v'chetzi of adamar. There was a belief in those days that there was a type of an animal that emanated from the ground. So he said, today it's half flesh, half earth. L'machar hishritz, tomorrow it's going to exit from the earth. Vinasa kulo basar, it'll become all flesh. So if this animal can turn from being flesh and dirt to all flesh, surely God can turn a dead body back to life. Shema Tomer Lamat Zman Meruba, maybe you'll say that it's going to take a long period of time for the transition to take place. Alei Lahar, go up to the mountain, Re'ei, and you'll see Shayom Einbo El Chalazon Echad, that today you'll find maybe one snail. L'machar Yerdu Geshamim, tomorrow the rains will come down. V'nismale Kulo Chaldonos, and it will be filled with snails. And in the same way, just like the snails will come immediately after the rain, so Hashem will bring down the dew that he uses in order to resurrect the dead, and the dead will come back to life. Thank you and good evening. I'd like to be